All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our annual reorg meeting. I am calling this meeting to order. It is 7:07 p.m. At this time, just to let the public know where we are with this meeting, as far as the order, um, we will adjourn to executive session. We will come out of executive session. We will then swear in our newly re-elected board members, Ashley Pineda and Tracy Mayers. And then in open session, we will have a election of the board president and also board vice president. And then we will follow our agenda after that. I would like very much for this board, before we go into executive session, if we could please commit to an hour. David, I see your face. Yes, if we can please.
It's so funny.
If we can please commit to an hour or less, I really would appreciate it. So I'm just asking us to please be very succinct in what we have to say and just move through things as quickly but efficiently as possible. All right, so can I get a motion to adjourn? Wait, I'm sorry. Our new people on here, is it Denise or Jen?
It's Hennessy. It's okay.
Hennessy.
Hi, everyone.
Hennessy.
Hennessy.
And I know I saw someone else. Where is his picture? Mr. Grant?
That's correct. Hello,
yes,
everyone.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you know, but with our board meetings, we usually tend to go into executive session. Right now, we are notorious for being in there a long time, but we're going to work on changing that. So I'm going to put you guys into the waiting room. I would say don't wait at your computers, but just, check in here and there. But just wanted to let you know, since you guys might be new to the system altogether. Dr. Chase, I just let somebody else in.
That's also the person that I'm recommending this evening.
All right, I would say that name is familiar too. So I'll wait till she logs in so she doesn't automatically get put back out.
And there also should be one more person coming in.
Okay.
And that's Dr. Cynthia Palmer.
Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, now please don't kill me for butchering your name. Is it Citro or Citro?
Citro. Hi.
Citro. Hi, Miss Citro. I just wanted to let you know, I'm not sure if you've been in other districts that work in this way, but I just wanted to let you know that we just opened the meeting. I was getting ready to go into executive session. I'm asking the board to commit to an hour or less. But so I will eventually, in a few minutes, put you back into the waiting room.
Okay.
I would say stick around, but don't, sit at your computer like waiting, like on bated breath or anything. So we'll try to be as quick as possible. So just wanted to let you know that.
Okay.
We're still waiting for one more person, right, Dr. Chase?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm gonna give it maybe a few more minutes, and then if not, we'll go and hopefully maybe someone, Ivy. Well, you won't be able to communicate with the person. I guess, Dr. Chase, do you happen to have any contact number where you could, just in case we do go in and then she pops in, this person pops in later, that at least we'll be able to communicate?
Well, I did ask the candidates to come at 7:10.
Okay.
I thought we would go straight into executive session, so she might, hang around for a little bit. I'm sure she will.
Okay. All right. So you said 7. Oh, wait. Okay, that's not her. So we'll wait for till 15, and that's it.
Are we going into executive session now, or?
Well, I said we'd wait maybe for a few minutes for her, and then, you know, till 7:15, and then we'll go in. Okay, let's see. All right. Maybe we won't wait till 7:15. Maybe we'll keep going. All right, Ms. Weens, I see that you came in late. I just want to let you know that we are actually getting ready to go into executive session. I put it out there for us to please try to be able to get in and get out in an hour or less. All right, so can I get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, to discuss?
Thank you. David, can I get a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment history of particular person?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. We will be going into executive session. I did see someone else come in. Hi, Mr. Mastrangelo. As you can see, I don't know if you heard it, but we just made a motion to go into executive session. We are trying to commit to getting out in an hour or less. So fingers crossed, we'll do that. So now I'm gonna put everyone in, not everyone, in the waiting room. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's start this right here. Okay. I got you. Going up this list. All right, everyone. We are back. We're only, I think, a couple of minutes over. So I would say we've done pretty well this evening. We are now, I'm turning it over to you. Where's Ivy? Ivy, I'm turning it over to you now to take care of our oath of office and election of president and vice president.
Okay. For the oath of office, since we're on Zoom, I figured I'd take each candidate one at a time.
Yes.
Ms. Mayers, can you raise your right hand for the camera? Do you solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge the duties of trustee for the Greenburgh Central School District to the best of your ability?
Sorry, I had to grab my Bible. I do.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Tracy.
Congratulations.
Mr. Pineda, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge the duties of trustee for the Greenburgh Central School District to the best of your ability?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay.
Bravo.
Okay. Now we're up to the election of the board president. I'll call upon you if I see that you've raised your hand, or if Ms. Carey, if you want to nominate someone, you'll just have to shout out since you're on the phone. In the event that a candidate is unopposed, Robert's Rules of Order states that an election is not required. The floor is now open for nominations. Does anyone have a candidate they wish to nominate?
I would like to put in nomination the name of Antoinette Cintron. Oh, what's your last name, honey?
Jordan Cintron.
As president of the board.
Okay, is there a second to the nomination?
I
Second.
Second.
Okay, are there any further nominations? Going once? Okay, there being no further nominations, Ms. Antoinette Darden Cintron will be the board president for the 2020-2021 school year.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Ms.
Bravo.
Darden Cintron,
Appreciate it.
will you please raise your right hand?
Wait, I gotta get my Bibles in my room. Okay. God
Do you
knows.
solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge the duties of board president for the Greenberg Central School District for the 2020-2021 school year?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The meeting is now yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So the meeting is technically mine, but Ivy is going to do what she does very well, and she is going to provide us with the elections for the vice president.
Okay. Just to reiterate, if there's only one candidate that's nominated, an election is not required. The floor is now open for nominations for the office of vice president. Does anyone have a nomination? Dr. Drogic?
So I would like to renominate Tracy Mayers for vice president.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
I'm sorry, who seconded first? I apologize. Was that
I
Antoinette?
think Cora beat me to it.
Okay. Any further nominations? Okay, hearing no further nominations, Ms. Mayers is vice president for the 2020-2021 school year. Ms. Mayers,
Congratulations.
raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge your duties as vice president for the Greenberg Central School District for the 2020-2021 school year?
I do.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, we are moving forward. We are now on to annual appointments. We do have, let me go back to my list. We are pulling some items here. All right, so for our annual appointments, it says the listed individuals. Ivy, I see it. I didn't forget the listed individuals shall serve in their respective capacity for the 2021 school year to serve until the next annual organization meeting or until a successor is appointed according to law. Okay, is there a motion to approve? My apologies. Give me 1 second. Yeah, is there a second? I'm sorry. Is there a motion to approve the annual appointment items except for items C28 and C29 presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that motion carries. I'm gonna go back. Ivy, is it okay that I go and we poll right now in this area?
You would do a motion for those items. I don't know if you want to do those items together or separately, but you need a motion in a second first.
Yes. I just want to make sure I can do it in this area. Okay, is there a motion to approve the annual appointment appointment items C28 and C29. And Ivy, could you poll the board, on C28 and C29?
So moved.
You need a motion and a
Yeah.
second.
Okay,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
No,
Poll the board.
No,
poll the
I'm
board.
sorry,
You have to poll the
let me pause. Ivy, can you please poll the board?
can we have discussion before we poll the board?
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, thank you, Antoinette.
No problem.
I'm wondering why we couldn't have one of the psychologists. I get feedback. I'm wondering why we couldn't have one of the psychologists or social workers be the alternate chairperson and the director of pupil personnel be the chairperson. So that's something that I'm curious about. That was it.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? All right. Hearing none we had the motion already. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
I thought
no,
this
I'm
supposed
to be
sorry.
polling the board.
You have to poll the
Ivy,
board.
you got to go ahead and jump in. Otherwise, I don't hear anything. I think you're waiting on me. Go ahead, Ivy.
Okay. So the motion to approve items C28 and C29, that was moved by Mr. Warner, seconded by Mr. Pineda. Ms. Mayers?
Nope.
Mr. Warner?
Yes.
Mr. Pineda?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Carey?
No.
Dr. Dragic?
No.
Ms. Darden Cintron?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Okay. Before that's, let me see, sorry, I gotta let Dr. Jason. So that was for before I move forward, I know that we had some new hires here and they waited patiently while we were in executive session. And I just want to do a quick a quick recognition before we go deeper into the agenda. Does anybody on the board mind just doing a quick pause just so that we can recognize them through our public watching? Okay. Dr. Chase, hello.
Right here.
All right, Dr. Chase. So we went through the oath of office, the election, and we just finished area C, section C. We did pull two items, and we pulled two items to be pulled separately. And so that's where we are. We've already voted. That's where we are now. Without trying to go further into the agenda and having our new hires wait additional time, wanted to just, welcome to the district so that, our viewing public could see them. So Dr. Chase, if you wanted to say some quick things or.
Oh, sure. So, we are pleased to welcome our newly hired family members to the Greenburgh Central School District family. Mr. Jason Grant. Mr. Grant will be housed at Woodlands Middle High School as our newly hired science teacher. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we want to welcome Miss Danielle Citro to the Greenburgh Central School District family. Danielle will also be a science teacher housed at Woodlands Middle High School. We're looking forward to wonderful things from Danielle. Thank you and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And as you know, our district established a new position, social worker at Highview Elementary School. And we're pleased to welcome Ms. Hennessy Ramos, who will be our newly hired social worker for Highview Elementary School. We are looking forward to working with you as well. Congratulations to our 3 hirees.
Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
There is a 4th person who isn't on the line, and that is Dr. Palmer, excuse me. It's Dr. Cynthia Palmer. She will be our library media specialist housed at Woodlands Middle High School. So we look forward to welcoming her and working with her in this school year. Congratulations.
All right, welcome and congratulations. Thank you, Dr. Chase. Okay, we are up to E, designations. So E, we have section D, authorization. Is there a motion to approve the authorization items presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Other way, I think that Terry's got his hand up.
I'm sorry, Terry. I'm looking down at the agenda. Terry, discussion?
I thought we had pulled 2 items out to vote on separately. We voted on one separately, then we went to the recognition for our new employees. Should we not have gone back to the second item, or did I miss something?
Yeah, we did C 20. We did C. I called it together. C 28 and 29 together, and then we have
Thank you.
L5 coming up.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there any? I'm sorry. Is there any discussion on this? Okay, let's do it again. All those in favor of?
Aye.
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 All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. All right, let's see. Now we're going to F, determination.
E.
E. Yes. No, we did E.
We
No,
just,
you did
No,
authorization.
we just did authorization. Yes. Okay. E. Is there? This is for our official depository of school funds, the newspaper required for our legal notices, and also asbestos hazard emergency relief fund relief act. Is there a motion to approve the designation items presented to the board for approval this evening?
so moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Okay, we are now up to F, our determinations, where we have, let's see, district policies, Board of Education meetings, temporary appointments, conference attendance, conference approval, impartial hearing officers. Is there a motion to approve the determination items presented to the board for approval this evening?
Accept.
Are we up to F?
No, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong.
Okay, all right. Is there a I'll say it again. Is there a motion to approve the determination items presented to the board for approval this evening?
So
So
moved.
moved.
So moved. Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, any abstentions? The motion carries. Okay. Now, Ivy, for some reason, let me go here, maybe it'll adjust. Okay. All right, so we are I, non-instructional personnel.
Um,
Where we
Oh,
know?
we just did that, I'm sorry.
oh,
Where,
We're at G.
We are.
G is convene regular meeting.
Why is this not in order?
So then
Hold on.
that's public comments.
Hold on. I'm trying to get back to where I was. All right. Yeah, so we have public comments. Do we have any public comments today? I don't think we received any
No
via
email.
email. Okay, so no email. Do we have any public comments now at this point? Okay, hearing none, we're gonna move forward with policy presentations. We have two, 55681 school safety plan, 7530. That's child abuse and maltreatment. I'm sorry, this thing is really sensitive. Okay. There's no questions about this. All right, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get back to this.
Antoinette, David has his hand up.
David, go ahead. I can't get.
Okay, just to repeat what I said before, 5681, not that anything needs to be changed on the policy. We just need to make sure that we post the latest and greatest contact information in terms of the safety team on the district website for the district-wide plan. And then for the child abuse and maltreatment, we need to make sure that the hotline is posted. That's it.
Okay, all right. So that was, yes. I don't know, David or Dr. Chase, do you know if that was posted already? I know David said that before.
I don't know, but I'll look into it.
All right, thank you. Okay, so no statements from public policy presentation. So now we're on to our regular meeting approvals. Okay, hold on. All right, so is there, I don't want to skip it. Oh, I'm not. This is for section 8, instructional personnel items. Is there a motion to approve the instructional personnel items presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Or any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Any opposed? Hearing none. Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. All right. Now we're going to section I, non-instructional personnel items. Is there a motion to approve the
Should we be clapping and cheering?
Yeah, yes, we should be clapping and cheering. Yay for the
Control.
item. Thank you, David. It's so weird doing this part. It doesn't feel as warm as when we're in person at all. Thank you, David, for that reminder. Okay, so section I, non-instructional personnel items. Is there a motion to approve the non-instructional personnel items presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Second.
All right. All right. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I'd like to ask a question, please.
Okay.
I see that we have five positions here. I'm sorry, 3 positions here, and each one of them are going to be working a maximum of 5 hours per day. I would just like to know what their schedule is going to look like. Are they all going to work on the same day, 5 hours, or are they going to be spread out? I would just like to have a idea of what their schedule is going to look like. The 3 people who have been appointed, for these positions.
I can answer that. We have one person actually, Martha Barata. She is one individual that can be in the district almost every day. She will be going between the different buildings. The other 2 are there in the event that Ms. Barata is unavailable to come in. But since we didn't know the schedule, we wanted to make sure that we had enough approval for the staff to come in and cover if she's out.
Oh, so these other 2 are just substitutes.
Yes, but since we don't know, I can't guarantee what's going to happen with Ms. Barata. We wanted to make sure that the other 2 staff were covered. I do know that the other 2 individuals are not available to work every day, but in the event that they're needed, they can work.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mary. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Is there any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Congratulations. We move on to section J, board action items. Now, no, I don't have one yet for that. Okay, so J, no questions up. Is there a motion to approve the board action items presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Any abstentions? The motion carries. K, finance items. Is there a motion to approve the finance items presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Okay, everybody, for section, that was J, right? I'm up to K, I believe.
Okay.
Just
So
real.
L, and Tanya had some questions in that.
Yeah, we have
So-
questions and we have one to be polled, but before you start, Tanya, when you're being asked for a motion, you have to not loudly, don't blast us, but you have to make it very clear where you're voting, because it's not like 100% clear. So, Dr. Chase, Tanya had a question on L3 and L12.
Well, no, so actually I wanted you to, I'm sorry, I had a question about L3, but I wanted to ask that you poll L5, L6, and L12.
Okay, I have L5, I didn't have L6. Okay, so L5, L6, and you said you have a question about 12 or?
And to poll that one as well. And I would like a discussion on that one as well.
Okay, so let's start with L3.
Okay, so L3 is a new landscaping contract with Erico Landscaping Corporation. And it seems like they will now be responsible for our tree services. Now, I remember that the last time we had this discussion about the emergency tree services, they were done by a company that was called Gentile or Gentile, I don't know how you pronounce it still. So I'm just wondering if we're now going to have two separate contracts, or if we're getting rid of Gentile and replacing them with Erico, or how this is going to work.
Mary, do you mind taking that question, please?
Yeah, it was put out to bid and the new company won. So this will be our contractor effective July 1.
Okay, so I didn't realize that that the time had come to bid. Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question about when you said that this company won? Is it just that they were the lower bidder, or how did they determine that?
Yeah, it's I believe it's attached to your board documents. You have the bid results attached to board documents.
Okay, so you don't.
Yeah, no, if it's a bid, it's the lowest possible bidder.
Okay, so we go with the lowest possible. Great.
Oh,
It is a bid. We go with the lowest. They review it, and we go with the lowest responsible bidder.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sorry. I actually had a question. I'm sorry. Sorry.
was it a question about this particular?
Yes.
One? Okay,
Yes.
go ahead, and then Terry has a question.
So Mary, I also wanted to understand the bidding process for a landscaping company, because they usually give a price for a job. So how did they come in the lowest? Was it like an hourly rate, or was it just that they said we'll charge $500 for a tree instead of $1,000, or what was the actual?
Well, again, I have the bid results are attached to your documents, and
Okay.
I pulled them up. I'm looking overall. They are the lowest bidder. There was one contractor that did not submit all the documents, so they were tossed out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that was, Tanya, you just did 12, right?
So it was L3, L5, L6, and L12.
But you had a question you have a specific question for L12.
So I also have a question for L6 actually, which is something that Terry brought up, and I was just wondering if this service is actually helpful with respect to helping the kids with their college applications and helping them to achieve their admission into the colleges that they're applying to. How did we actually assess the effectiveness of this particular service?
That question is not a question for now. I don't believe, Carol, you'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, so did you have a question for question 12? Because I have down you had a question for L3, L12.
Antoinette, Terry has his hand up also.
Yes, Terry goes after Tanya. I think I saw him. Unless this is related to specifically what Tanya's talking about, Terry, or something different.
So can we table this? I'm sorry, Terry.
No, you have the floor. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just wondering if we can table this until we have the answer to this question. I guess it will be in executive session. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm going on with tabling because I have questions I'd like to ask about it also.
What number is this?
This is L6.
L6.
Dr. Chase. All right. Okay, we'll come back.
And to answer I think it's appropriate to answer the question with reference to the service, not the person.
Okay.
So the service does in fact support students' college writing. This is a service that we have provided for our students for quite some time, about maybe about 4 years from now, where it's individualized college writing services for our students. And it does prepare our students for those rigorous competitive essays, also help students attain scholarships as well.
Okay.
Okay, let me go to Terry and then Tracy.
So actually, I have two very brief questions, at least one question, one brief point. I just wanted to get clarification when Tanya said pull or poll. I didn't know if she was saying pull it or poll the actual item, but I'm assuming that she said poll, P-O-L-L. Okay, thank you. And the second thing regarding my question about the essay writing or the college application writing service, my question was basically, could we have some data points about this? How many essays were written with the assistance of this particular person, or all of the data that would help us, obviously get some sense of the effectiveness of it.
So might I make a suggestion that we pull that until I provide the board with that data so that you can make a more informed decision?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
Yes.
Is Cora trying to say something?
I think Ms. Cora said yes, or sorry, I thought she said that, but I could be wrong. Ms. Carey?
Yes?
About pulling this item until Dr. Chase gets the information. All right. Tracy?
I was gonna ask about tabling it, so Dr. Chase.
Okay, we're all, wait. Ashley, I see you shaking your head. David? You're good too. I didn't miss anyone. Okay. Now, so that's, let me move this table now, please. All right, so now we are polling for L3, well, not L3. You had questions about L3. We are polling for L5 and L12.
What about, I thought we were pulling, 3.
I have it from when we were in executive session. I have that as a question. Tanya,
It was-
are you?
Yes, it was just a question. I don't want to pull that one. It was just a question.
Okay. Well, I'd like some discussion on it, but I don't want to hold up, so I'll just pull it so I can bid. I gotta bid. I mean, vote how I have to vote.
Ms. Perry, if you have a question, you can surely ask it. Tanya asked the question in regards to that as well.
Well, first question is, are they going to do our entire landscaping or just trees?
Entire landscaping.
Full service,
Well,
okay,
My understanding is landscaping.
okay.
Oh,
Thank
wait a minute, I apologize. Wait a second. This particular one is for the tree services.
So trees only.
trees only. Okay, then my question doesn't pertain, my questions won't pertain to them.
Okay. All right, so that is not a poll, that was for questions. So now the only two that we are polling is L5 and L12. Any other questions for L7? I mean L for business? Okay. Get to. All right, Ivy, this is my iPad is a bit stuck. I can't get to the other area. So you guys have to hold on. I have to go into my email for that agenda. Ivy. All right. Okay. I am. Okay, so we went through all of them. Okay, I am having some difficulty with both of these. All right, so we are, all right. Is there a motion to approve the business items except for L5 and L12 presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any Well, we had enough discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. All right. Now we are moving down to. All right, so this is for M, section M, pupil personnel service items.
Wait, are you going to pull L5 and
Yeah.
L12?
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm jumped the gun. Is there a motion to approve the business item?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. What was that?
Is there a motion to, sorry, is there a motion to approve the business items presented, the business items L5 and L12 presented for the board approval this evening?
Can you do them separately, please?
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the business item L5 presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Well, you have to, aren't you polling the board for that one?
Yes.
Yeah, we have to
Yes,
have.
but you asked for it separately though. Am I?
Well, you have to
The
poll
motion
the
is
board
correct.
separately for each of the
Right, then
items.
she'll poll, so then she'll get a second and then she'll say, Ivy, please pull the board.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Second.
All right. Thank you. Ivy, please poll the board.
All right, can we have discussion first?
Okay. On L5 and L12, we just had.
No, just discussion on L5. I wanted to discuss L12 separately.
Okay.
Okay, so with L5, you know, as a trustee, for me, it's a heavy duty, and we need to look at what we're doing here fiscally and financially. Currently with L5, we're asking for a consultant to be hired at a rate of $9.25 per day for 150 days, which with my math, although, you know, not smarter than a fifth grader, my math is 138,750 that we would be hiring this position for. I just think that we need to be very fiscally prudent here. I think that we're setting a fiscal precedence that this district will not be able to maintain. This is something that we have been a service that we've been providing for quite some time. I believe it's about 4 years now. And I know that we started this consultant model with the special education department. I believe it was about 4 years in 2016. And there was a reason for that consultant model. And that reason has since dissipated. And there's no further need for that consultant model. I think we really have to think fiscally with this. I do know that this position has been managed by one administrator in the past. Currently, we have a director of special education at a salary that was posted at $148 even. This position is also an administrative level position where we're paying $138,750. Again, I can't swear by my math. However, together, these two administrative positions are $286,750. Excuse me, $286,750,000 to run the special education department administration. In the past, this position was last held by one person at a salary of $151,000. That is a huge jump. We just hired an assistant director of curriculum for $200,000, right? Or I might be off by a few thousand, but by about $200,000 that is in charge of the entire curriculum for the district. And my understanding is that our special education population is at about 12%. So we're paying for an administration for 12% of the district at $286,750,000. And I am not sure that we should be setting this fiscal precedent to have two separate administrators. There are districts that are larger than ours that manage the CSE chairpersons with social workers, with psychologists, or for much less than $9.25 a day. I cannot support this, and I have to ask the rest of my trustees to think fiscally.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would just like to say that, first of all, this is business for me because I cannot see paying anyone that kind of money for 150 days when there are 180 some days in the year. My concern basically is that we have personnel that can do the job, and years ago they did, because we had our social workers, our speech pathologists, our psychologists, and psychologists doing the job, and it was with a small stipend. I would like very much to see us get back to a frugal fiscal type of spending, and I would like to see us do it in a way that is going to uplift the spirit of not only the community, but the students. So I have to vote no, because I don't believe we need 2 administrators for a special ed program that I don't think has 100 kids. That's the way I feel about it. Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? Okay,
Terry has his hand up.
I'm sorry, Terry, go ahead.
So since my colleague, Ms. Mayers, asked her fellow trustees to join her, I would say we have to be careful here. First of all, discussing this too much in detail because it involves potentially personnel. So if we could just talk about the position, and nobody crossed the line, by the way. I'm just saying, as we go forward, I am being fiscally responsible, since Ms. Mayers asked if her colleagues could join her here in this. I think it would be fiscally irresponsible to not provide the services that our children need, and then find out after the fact, and then have to do some Band-Aid approach to fixing a problem or fixing a situation. This is the fiscally responsible way. We had this discussion about the staffing of this department as part of the negotiations, the budget negotiations, and we put forth a budget with this in place. So a majority of us decided that this was the way to go, that this was the fiscally responsible way to do it. Now, of course, that does not negate anybody's continued objection to this. Far be it from me to tell somebody not to object to something. But what I am saying, since my colleague did say specifically, asked all of us or individually to do the fiscal responsible thing, I am affirmatively saying that this is the fiscally responsible thing, and I will support this when asked to vote. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else?
Sure.
David?
I'm satisfied with the changes we made to be fiscally responsible in regard to this item. That is the changes we made relative to last year.
Okay, Ashley?
So I guess my perspective is we did agree on this as a board. We did make a reduction based on last year's budget. So we did make a significant reduction here. I would not be opposed to maybe thinking of this for a future year, maybe the next budget cycle. Maybe we could come up with the transition plan to to get back to a place where we had more of our staff handling it internally. But I would support this as it stands today, thanks to the existing reduction we've already made and the fact that we've agreed as a board to do this.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Yes.
Tanya?
Just to make it very clear, Madam,
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let her finish.
Go ahead.
Just to make it very clear, Madam President, I didn't support it then, and I want to make it very clear that I don't support it now.
Ms. Carrie, Tanya?
Yes, I'm just going back through our agenda because it seems that I think when we were discussing this item with respect to the, during our budget discussions, I was actually not aware of the number of additional staff that we had working in this field. And it seems to me that there is really sufficient staffing to actually cover this position internally without having to hire a consultant.
Okay, thank you, Tanya. Is there anyone else? I think that's everyone has gone. Okay, so I'm going to, we had discussion in this and we separated. This is L5. Ivy, where is Ivy? I don't see her.
I'm here.
I see you, Ivy. All right, can you pull the board on L5?
Okay, on the motion to approve item L5, motion made by Mr. Warner, seconded by Mr. Pineda. Ms. Carey? I'm sorry, Ms. Carey, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, do you hear me now?
I hear you now, thank you. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Dr. Dragic?
No.
Mr. Pineda?
Yes.
Mr. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Mayers?
No.
Ms. Darden Cintron?
Yeah.
Motion is carried.
All right. Can I get a motion? I'm sorry. All right. Is there a motion to approve the business item L12? L12 presented to the board for approval this evening.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? All right. Is there any discussion? Tanya.
Yeah, so I just briefly wanted to say that we discussed this issue at our previous meeting, so I'm not going to beleaguer the point here. I know that we have a new treasurer and that perhaps on some level she would benefit from a company that has worked with us in the past. But I think for this particular position, I feel very strongly about changing auditors on a regular basis, because I think that it's actually good to have people come in with a fresh outlook. So that's why I wanted you to poll the board, because I don't want to actually support the hiring of this particular company. I know that we actually had another company that came in with a lower bid and had to be renegotiated with this company. And so I feel that I would prefer that we went back to the other one.
Okay. Any other discussion on this?
Yeah.
Tracy.
Yes, I heard that we're supposed to be going with the lowest responsible bidder. I know that I asked that question specifically about L3. That's what I was told. And I understood that there was a lower bidder that is responsible. So I'm not sure that we should just keep the same auditor at all times. I don't think that is wise to do. And if there was a lower bidder and it's about time, I don't know why we're sticking with the same company.
Okay, Mary.
There is a difference between a bid and an RFP. A bid is something like the tree service that you go out for and that you would have to pick the lowest responsible bidder. The RFP is a request for professional services. That's similar, I explained this last time, that's similar to your attorneys. You are not required to pick the lowest person who responded to an RFP. And I believe Ms. Mel, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
For when you're addressing a professional service, you're not required to go with that.
So why would we?
Well, Tracy, hold on. Tracy, go ahead, and then Tanya.
So for what reasons would we choose a higher person if the other people came in lower and they were responsible and, you know, efficient? Why would we go with someone that was higher that we've had for quite a while when we're talking about auditing?
The level of service.
Thank you, Mary. Tanya, you had a hand up, I believe.
Yeah, yes, I did. I just want to say, just respond to Mary, that I know that we didn't necessarily have to go with the lowest bidder on this particular service. I think for me, it's more just a question of having a regular turnover of auditors for the sake of having sort of a fresh look at the finances of the business, of the district, sorry.
Just know, this auditor is not the finance auditor. This is internal controls.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Even so, I understand the difference.
All right, thank you, Tanya. Tracy, your hand up again.
Yes, it is. I have one quick question. How long have we been working directly with this company, Mary? How many years?
I believe Mr. Warner was about to answer that.
3 years.
I'm sorry, you said 4?
3 years. David said 3 years.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any more?
Madam Chair, basically, it would seem to me there would have been not a problem in getting someone in that was new to work with the new treasurer. They could have worked this out together. I don't know. I just think that sometimes we get in a rut and we stay in the same place. And as one of the trustees said, you know, you need change every once in a while. And I believe that's what we need to do, is start looking at change and stop bringing the same people in over and over and over again.
Okay, thank you, Miss Carey. I believe there's nope, sorry, David, I just caught your hand.
Okay, so I think I can repeat in open session what I've said before, which is this contract is for 1 year. So if the deciding factor, at least in my mind and the committee's mind at the time, was you do have change, you have a new treasurer. Once a year has passed, then that person will not be new anymore. Then you can go back, if you wish, to join the audit committee. Anybody wants to join the audit committee? And we can reconsider the matter a year from now.
And if I could just add, if you're going to have extensive conversation about a particular contract or provider, that would be for executive session.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Ivy, can you, I almost ended the meeting by accident. Ivy, can you poll the board?
Yes, on the motion to approve item L12, that was moved by Mr. Pineda, seconded by Mr. Warner. Ms. Mayers?
No.
Mr. Warner?
Yes.
Mr. Pineda?
Yes.
Dr. Drogic?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Carey?
Clean the dishes.
Ms. Darden Cintron? I'm sorry. Ms. Darden Cintron, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Yes?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay. I have to flip and go. All right. All right, so we did L5, L12. We are now on to M. Is there, let me see my notes. Make sure there's nothing on the phone. Okay, is there a motion to approve the, could somebody please mute? I love law and order as well, but not during a board meeting. Could somebody please just mute their phone or their web? Thank you.
Can you mute everyone maybe?
It's muted now. I believe it is. I don't hear it anymore. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the pupil personnel services items presented to the board for approval this evening?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Someone has their TV on. I don't understand.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Okay. Is there any abstentions? The motion carries.
It carries, but I want to be down.
Let's pull back. Are you abstaining to M?
Yes, I am.
You got that? Okay. The motion carries. All right. So Tracy, I don't believe I can mute all because then you guys won't be. Okay. All right. Let me go back. All right. So that is it. Let me skip down. We did L through M. A through M. All right. I'm trying to skip down. I'm sorry, did someone say something? I'm just trying to skip down. Okay. Let's get down here. All right, so we are at closing items. All right, all right, closing items. I have one from Terry Williams.
Thank you, Madam President. So a few weeks ago, we agreed to send a letter to the town requesting that it rewrite their lease of the Westchester Federal Credit Union that occupies space in the town hall to pay us a payment in lieu of taxes. That letter went out on July 1st. I wanted to ask my colleagues on the board to have the administration place some language and a copy of the letter on our social media assets, i.e. the website, the application, the app, as well as Twitter. And the reason being, this is an initiative by us to be fiscally responsible, to get money that we feel is owed to us because this particular property is generating revenue from a commercial enterprise, and commercial enterprises pay taxes to the different municipalities, the municipality being the town itself, the school board, and the fire district. I think we need to show and send a message to our constituents, the voters, that in addition to providing a top flight education, we're also being fiscally responsible and looking out for the fiscal well-being of the district. This is now, in essence, by sending this letter, we have notified the town that we are seeking this money. We should also let our town residents know of the actions that we're taking. So again, to keep within the time limit here, I am asking that you join me in requesting that this be placed on our social media assets so that the constituents know that we are looking out for the fiscal well-being of our district.
Thank you, Terry. Tanya, and then Tracy.
You're muted.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So I just want to say that we had ample discussion about this letter. Some of us were somewhat ambiguous about sending it. I think that this is not a regular commercial entity, and it's a credit union. It's not a revenue generating entity. And I think we try to write a friendly letter, and I think that posting it on our social media is really kind of an unnecessary provocation.
Tracy. Thank you, Tanya.
I agree. And I'm not interested in trying to fight.
Anyone else? David, Ashley, I see you. David, you're after. Ashley?
Oh, I thought Dave was going first. Okay. My thought process is we sent the letter on the 1st. Today's the 7th. I think we need to give them some more time before we consider our next steps.
Thank you, Ashley. David?
Agreed. We started out friendly. Let's be friendly for a while and see what we get.
All right, I agree too. Okay. All right. Go back here.
Antoinette, Mr. Williams is handed.
I'm sorry, Terry.
Thank you, Ms. Maris. Just a few clarifications. We were given no proof that this is not a profit-making enterprise, and I would argue that they are a profit-making enterprise, but we got no indication of that, number one. And number two, we're not being provocative by requesting that which may legally belong to us. That's all I'll say. I mean, the decision, obviously, of the majority, I abide by those decisions, but since this is a public meeting and the public is listening and watching, I felt the need to clarify those things.
Thank you, Terry. Okay, let me go back. Are there any other closing items? All right, hearing none. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any? Okay, no one's opposed, I assume. Well, you guys have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much. We are out earlier than we have been in a very long time. Everyone have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Welcome.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.